I'm Lynn Hartwell. I currently work at the Nova Scotia Community College. I'm the Vice President of Campuses and Communities there. I spent 20 plus years working for the provincial government in various roles, though, and it was in that role, in that world, where I got to work with Davis Pier. We were at a point in time in the department where I was a relatively new deputy minister, change in government, new minister, and all of a sudden there was this opportunity, this possibility to talk about big transformative change. And so we engaged Davis Pier to help us scope out some of that thinking. How do we go from the big, how can we be better, to, okay, so what would that tangibly look like on the ground? Davis Pier helped us frame all of the thinking, all of the research, all of the thought, all of the lived experience that we heard from into ways that we could move it forward. More than that, they allowed the experts, the people, the staff, the clients themselves, they allowed their voice to kind of inform our work in a new way. They would take a big complicated system like the income assistance system, big, complex, regulatory, laden with all kinds of yeses and nos, and they became, collaborators is the right word, they became partners. They also became, in some ways, coaches for us on how we were going to transform. What could a transformation agenda look like, tangibly, and they helped walk us through that. Working with Davis Pier, it felt like they understood our business, understood the community, cared deeply about the community. I never felt that I was getting the same PowerPoint slide that they'd presented to other people. I never felt that they were giving us the canned response. I felt like they were invested and were looking at novel ways to meet our issues as opposed to just something that may have worked in another jurisdiction. It didn't mean that they didn't bring the best of other jurisdictions. They would, do the research and all of those things, but I always felt like we were their number one priority, even though I know they had other clients. They just had a way of engaging with us to make us be fully engaged in the process along with them.